What is going on, everybody? The Rose here, and welcome back to Less Than Serious, a low-budget production. Tonight, kind of toyed with the idea of not even doing the show, but here we are, because I felt like it would be a good idea after all. To do the show versus not doing the show. I won't really get into the details why, but the guys know why. Tonight we're going to talk about AEW Fight Forever, the video game. We're going to review it, talk about what we like about it, what we don't like about it, give it our ratings. We're also going to talk about the news and changes that are coming to AEW on television with the quote-unquote banned spots and moves and things that aren't going to be allowed on weekly TV anymore, supposedly. EDP445 has joined the ranks among the YouTube community who wants to apologize for diddling children. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Collen Ballinger, because Lord knows the rabbit hole on her goes about as deep as her pussy does. With that being said, we are joined tonight by Casey is Raw. What's going on, Casey?
Long week, dude. Really long week.
Long and hot, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, well, it's been not a good week for me. So, that's why a lot of my content hasn't been pumping a lot of content out, because that stuff going on.
Yeah, I hear you. I haven't been doing as much lately myself. I wanted to stream a couple more days this week, and I think I've only streamed twice this week, when I could have streamed at least three or four times this week. Shit just sucks right now, man. Like, life sucks, and I'm slowly losing my fucking patience for everything right now. And like I said, the guys know what's going on. I'm not going to get into it, on the live, because the more I talk about it, the more it's going to aggravate me. And
it's kind of like how Vince says, life sucks and then you die.
What's going on, TSS? Also joined tonight by Mr. MK Kratos in his car driving home from work.
What's up? Also, bad timing on that joke, Casey. Very bad timing.
So how's your week been going, Kratos? How's the new job been going, by the way?
5 days straight at work. 5 days straight. And
wow.
I got one more before I'm taking off the schedule for overworked. Problem.
Now, well, you're supposed.
6 days
I was gonna say you're supposed to get it. You're supposed to get a day or two off a week, aren't you?
Yeah, I chose to work because it's Prime Week, and these packages aren't going to deliver themselves.
Oh, you work for Amazon. That's cool.
Again, yeah. Except I'm not really with Amazon. I'm contracted to one of their.
Uh-oh. Hold on a second. I lost you guys.
No one was calling me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
What?
I thought I lost you guys for a second there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my shit. Okay, there we go.
So which one are we going to start off with first?
Well, I don't really have many visuals this week for the I don't really have many visuals, to put on screen this week, so I don't really think it matters exactly where we start. I guess we could go over the EDP one first, because that's going to be like the shortest thing here to talk about. If you guys, if you guys want to start there, we can start there. So if you guys remember, I don't exactly know what episode of Derailed it was, because it was over 2 years ago. But on April 21st, 2021, I believe it was April 21st. It might have been the 23rd, but it was near the end of April 2021. EDP 445, also known as that Crazy Eagles fan, as in the football team, not the musical band, the football team. He was caught in a sting operation by the predator poachers, who have been banned on YouTube like about 50 times over, and they still keep coming back with channel names and shit. Now the guy, his name is actually Alex Rosen, I believe, but he was at the time going by the name of Chet Goldstein. Now using the name Gordon Flowers. He organized a sting operation. It was horribly executed. They spent a lot of times making racist jokes at him and picking on him and stuff, and the police found that they couldn't use their sting operation and their video as evidence, and they could not present a case against EDP for attempting to meet a minor for sex. He had stated that he was just meeting her for a cupcake.
Well, I know they were also using actual minors every once in a while, as their decoys.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that too.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up, using actual kids as your bait.
Yeah, I've heard of that too, but that wasn't the case in the EDP. The EDP one, that one was just botched because of the way they handled the situation. They could have been more professional about it, like some of the other catchers out there that I watch. But yeah, so they couldn't use that as evidence. The police could not present a case against EDP, and he was banned off of YouTube. And every time he tried to go to a different platform, people would report him to whatever platform he would go to, and he would then be kicked off of that platform. This was also the case for whenever he would try to get a job or move into a new location. People would always find out where he was getting a job at, where he was moving to, and they kept, on him like fucking flies on shit.
I think either he was fired as an Uber driver. I think it was an Uber driver. I don't think he was a door dasher. But I think he was fired as an Uber driver.
I think one of the jobs he tried to get was working at a fast food place, though. But yeah, it's just kind of messed up. Now, I mean, I can understand why these people did it. But these average, everyday people like us that are watching things on YouTube, they really don't have the right to go out of their way to make somebody's life a living hell based on a mistake. Even though it's a pretty fucking nasty mistake, something he should have gone to prison for, I think the people took it way too far. Especially when he was seeking help and seeking legal advice.
I don't even consider this a mistake. When people say when they do something like sexual crimes as a mistake, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Well, I call it a mistake as in, that he fucked up and he tried to do it. I'm not saying it was a mistake. That's why I said it was a very big mistake, as in, he done fucked up. But the people just blew it. Like the people blew it out of the fucking water by, making the guy's life a living hell.
I mean, I agree to that because one, I do believe you should give people a second chance, but I mean, how much longer do you actually need to ride this guy's ass for what he did?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It went on all this time, and then he finally came out within the last 7 or 8 days with his own little apology video. Now, he wasn't playing a ukulele, thank God.
Or and he actually said, I apologize, or I'm sorry, but he did pull a Collen Ballinger where he did not say what he did and what his alleged crime was. So he still kind of, didn't want to say what he did.
What's up, Steve Collen?
He's just saying he's sorry what happened, but he doesn't want to say.
I mean, I don't think I think the reason he didn't mention it is because everybody who knows who he is already knows what he did. So I think that's the reason why he didn't get into it, even though he should have stated why he was apologizing. I agree with that. But I think he made that apology addressing the people that already knows who he is and what he did.
I would make it more serious if he would say, I apologize for this, you know?
Oh, absolutely. That's why I said he should have said it, but I think the reason he didn't is because he was addressing the people that already knew him or knew of him and knew what he did. He also stated that the reason he has not spoken up about it sooner and apologized sooner was because he was seeking legal advice and legal actions, and obviously, unlike Collen Ballinger, he was actually listening to his lawyers. However, though, he was on a YouTube video, or I don't know exactly if it was a YouTube video or for some kind of podcast somewhere, where he actually still, as of March of this year, was still denying it. And then all of a sudden, 4 months later, he comes out and finally confesses and, says that he's sorry. He's sorry he did it and whatnot. So, like...
He still really didn't confess. He just tiptoed around it.
Uh-huh.
So, like...
Anyway. First things first, I apologize for breaking the stream because someone at my job was just calling me about something important. That's why the call froze for a few seconds.
All right. That's fine.
All right.
But, yeah, I think that he at least did one better step than Collen Ballinger.
Now, I do think he still should go to prison, but I don't know if he's going to because, I mean, the whole thing was botched. They can't use it as evidence. Can they maybe use his sort of apology as a confession to maybe finally take action against him?
Probably not. I don't think so. Probably not.
Too much that he got away with this one. That's what I think.
I think he still deserves to go to jail. Or at the very least, he needs to be put on the registry. At the very least. And he needs to be off the internet.
Definitely.
He needs to be on...
If not jail, registry.
Yeah, I think at least that. Because as jail, I mean, he should be, but I think how the predator poachers botched it so
Give me 1 second,
bad.
go.
And
I'll be right back in 1 second.
to use it. Alright. So they're not able to use it. So he's going to get away with this.
Right.
He might not even have to sign up with any registry because how botched this thing was. I think he should, definitely. But I think he's going to get away with this one.
I just hope that he learned his fucking lesson and that he doesn't do this again. That's what I'm hoping.
I agree. But we know one person who didn't learn their lesson, but I can't wait to talk more about this.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that in a few minutes. I just want to get when Kratos comes back, I want to get his opinion on this EDP thing, because we'll put a bow on that. I know he's on a call at the moment, I believe.
It's just amazing. Well, let's just say this ties it into the other one. That I hate to say this, I feel like if you're a woman, they give you a little leeway. Sadly enough, I mean that, and I think if you're famous in some way, maybe they'll give you a little leeway too, because this woman not only was a YouTuber, she was on Netflix, TV shows, and I think even a movie. So, and she was doing live sets with kids in the set.
Now, he said sets, not sex. Okay.
Yeah, sets. S-E-T, not X. But
Get the X out.
So I feel like how much shit this woman did was a hell of a lot worse than what EDP did, even though I'm not going to let EDP let him go. But you're like, why does they keep allowing these people having YouTube channels? A lot of them, I mean, you seen how this in our community, when someone gets banned, they just turn around and make another channel.
Yep.
It's not like Twitter where they IP ban you. I think that's what they really need to do. Let's say if they fuck up so bad, they need to IP ban you. But
honestly, IP banning, would that even do anything? Because VPNs exist. You could just easily get around that.
That's true. But I mean, the other thing I was going to say, YouTube. But let's say you're not doing anything as bad as something like this. Let's say you just did too many copyright things, not like straight up like putting a full movies on. Then I think you should be definitely IP banned if you're putting movies on there, or like let's say a movie that's not even out from the theater just yet on YouTube. I can understand them IP banning them completely, but let's say like you play a 30-second song a few times, get strikes 3 times. I don't think you should get IP banned. I feel like, well, you got warning 3 times, you really need to start over again.
Yeah, I mean, 99% of the time, and I say 99% of the time that people are caught doing these things, it's always a man. And I say 99% of the time because I did see one catch by a YouTube channel who hasn't uploaded any catches in a long time, so I don't know if they're still doing it. Maybe they moved it off of YouTube and they're doing it on a different platform now. But there was a channel I watched, and they actually did catch one woman. So,
well, that's more than God, was it Steve? Was it Hansen?
Chris Hansen.
What's his? Is it Steve Hansen?
Chris Hansen.
What?
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen, yeah. That's more than Chris Hansen pulled out of his career. It's been all dudes, but it's not just been straight guys. It's been gay guys too, where they caught. So, maybe the women are smarter to get like plan better. But I'm not condoning it either, obviously. But it's obviously more of a male thing to want to date someone underage.
Right.
But, I mean, one of the people, like I said, one of the topics of the person is a groomer that's on the topic today. So, and she's a woman too.
Right, and she, yeah, we're gonna get into that. I guess we could just segue into that. When Kratos comes back, we could, circle back around.
I'm back.
Oh, he's here.
back.
Never mind. All right, Kratos. Before we move on to Colleen, what are your thoughts on the EDP closing here with his apology, sort of apology? What do you think? Should he go? He should go to jail. He should be on the registry. Do you think he's gonna go to jail? Can they catch a case against him finally, or what?
He should be put on the registry, and if that on the worst case scenario, if he's not in jail. My worst case scenario, personally, I mean, there's only one proper punishment for groomers, pedos, and like all that, and people who fall into that category. Chained up, spread eagle, have disease rats feast on your, you know what. That's what I believe.
Well, it looks like my camera has frozen. I tried to make it unfrozen. So I'm gonna try to fix it.
All right. Well,
That's
Casey
my
tries to fix his camera. There he goes.
for those people.
I want people to see my good-looking face.
Good-looking face, he says. All right. So 2 weeks ago, I told you guys about Colleen Ballinger, aka Miranda Sings. She had a deal with Netflix for live shows, and they were on Netflix. These shows were known to be full of kids, and I feel bad for those kids and the parents who were forced to bring, or not forced, but I'm sure annoyed to no end to bring them. And there have been more clips that have surfaced of those shows. You can actually find them on YouTube. There has been a clip that surfaced of Colleen calling a young child on the stage. The kid had to have been no more than 7 or 8 years old. And she put...
That woman was in... This girl was in her teens, though.
No,
I think...
I'm talking about a different one. We're going to get to that one. This one, I'm talking about this kid, this boy was 8... Had to be no more than 8 years old. She takes a bag of cheese puffs, or cheese doodles, or whatever, and stuffs the whole bag into her pants. She called them, I think, trouser snacks or some shit. And the whole skit was that they were going on a hike, and to help them carry, for them to be able to carry more snacks and stuff on them, you just go ahead and just tuck it right down your fucking pants.
Yeah, in her crotch.
She then asked this kid if he wanted a cheese ball, and then directed him to reach into her pants where her crusty, stinky, smelly salmon hole is. Reach into her pants and pull out some cheese balls. Because that's not wrong at all on any level. Regardless of whether it's a bit or not. You don't do that.
No.
Especially when your core audience is a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds or younger. And the parents, I don't know if these parents were all confused, if they just sat there quietly and whatnot and just let the kids cheer yay, this is the best thing ever. All those clips that they showed that surfaced, whenever she said something on the stage, it was all kids just erupting in loud cheers.
Well, the kids don't know what's going on. The adults, I bet you money, instead, because they're not really interested, they're probably on the fucking phones and doing this. Oh, okay, then back to the phones. Instead of watching the product and say, oh, well, that's inappropriate. This should have been, been out in the news a lot sooner than it did. Why wasn't it a kid reaching into a woman's crotch just to get snacks? What the fuck? I mean,
she also had other segments. On on her live shows where she would talk about dating and dating advice and whatnot, and also involving young kids. Because an 8-year-old is going to know the concept of dating at all.
Oh no.
I just don't know. This woman clearly does not have good judgment whatsoever.
Well, third grade, are you even interested in the opposite sex yet? I mean, I think starting to like girls, but I had no idea about what to do with them.
I mean, I've had a few crushes by then, but I wouldn't say it was anything, serious. Okay, I like you. As in I think you're cool, but other than that, it wasn't anything You know, you want to get, you know, you don't think as an 8-year-old how to get in this girl's pants. Let's just put it that way.
Or get in a relationship that fast either.
Right.
But
so she had segments like that. One show she started off on stage as herself, as Colleen, announcing that she was pregnant. Okay, now that's all well and good. I'm sure little kids probably don't care about that. But she then proceeded to make a comment stating that, yes, there was a little tiny penis inside of her. To a room full of kids.
Excuse me?
Yeah. That's a real clip.
how could they not? People, how does this let go so long?
This has been going on for years.
That's what I'm saying. You figure, like, one of us, let's say we're in the crowd, you're thinking, okay, this is inappropriate. We probably need a report on this.
One would think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it gets worse. Yeah, as if it couldn't get worse, right?
It does.
She would also put on her, she would also state as of like a disclaimer type thing on her shows about how, there's going to be comedy and skits and jokes for the kids and stuff, but there's also going to be racy, more adult-like jokes and topics that are going to go over the kids' heads. Now, if she wants to have shows like that, it's all well and good. But really, I think she needed to know how to separate the two. Like, if she wanted to have an adult-themed show, fine. Have an adult-themed show, no kids allowed, 18 plus. But you don't have adult jokes mixed in with kid jokes with kids on stage and kids cheering and whatnot. This is not a good look. Go on.
I was gonna say, even the cheese ball thing, if you're an adult, is inappropriate. But they could have got away with that a little bit easier because, hey, you're an adult. I mean, you did it anyways. As a kid, you didn't know better.
Right.
But, oh gosh. There was one thing she had on her website. During her so-called apology video, she said her live shows were always PG-13, and it's stated that way. Well, someone took her webpage and went back on the Wayback Machine, proving she fucking lied. They didn't put that disclaimer until later on, until 2018. So the bitch lied right there. So that whole video she did was a complete lie.
Are you surprised? Because I'm not.
No!
Come on.
This woman is completely evil, man. Completely evil, and I can't believe this woman's not in jail. And we only scratched the surface, too, Kratos.
Oh yeah, we're not done. We are not done. It gets worse.
Oh damn!
It gets worse.
Yeah.
She had a segment on one of her live shows where she decided to take hate comments that she received on her videos, write a song about them, reading the comments word for word, with all the vulgar profanity and everything else that were in those comments, uncensored, and sang it aloud in front of a group full of kids. People making jokes about her vagina and everything else, and calling her a slut. A lot of cursing. Like, no adult should ever approve taking their child to such shows.
And, in her video, she was blaming the parents because she was saying, well, it's not her responsibility to tell what's appropriate and not appropriate for kids. Like, bitch, your audience is kids. You target kids. So I don't want to hear bullshit about that. Like, I'm sorry, there's no way you can have this mixed with children's entertainment and adult entertainment. There's no, you got, like the Rose says, you gotta keep that shit separate. If you're gonna do a kid show, it's gotta be totally kid and family friendly, honestly. And if you're gonna do adult shows, you have to definitely viewers' discretion for the adults, and then you do adult show. So,
I mean, obviously, cartoons have done it. They've put racy jokes in cartoons, but like they know how to do it to the point where it's not going to be so blatantly obvious and disgusting.
But there's no kids being involved though with these cartoons. I mean, like back then, like Pepe Le Pew, people canceled him because they considered him a stalker or a love starved rapist almost. But he got canceled right completely out of Space Jams too. But it was just a different time. It was a gimmick, and it was just something stupid. But
Skunk?
What?
Talking about the skunk, Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah.
They canceled him.
His shit was classic, but still, my God.
I mean, he was creepy, but it was a gimmick, and no one was really harmed from the cartoon.
Supposed to be creepy towards the damn cat that looked like a skunk whenever paint got on her back.
Yeah,
that was the whole point.
It was stupid, but there was another one. I know the biggest one of all, the Rose, hadn't said, and we hadn't even went to the other things, but there's the last one of the last ones is the worst. That was involved in her apology video that she made fun of it too.
I would love to see this video where she reads the comments in a song form and see if she even says something about the famous Exorcist line.
Well, she flat out said, "I'm gonna sing this song. It's gonna have bad words in it. So parents, blah blah blah, some of you are gonna hate me, but I'm gonna do it anyway."
This line was in that. I would not be surprised if she actually said, "Your mother sucked cocks in hell," in this song.
There was some pretty bad stuff in the song. I've seen clips of that. I don't remember what video I watched that had that clip in it. But there was also the one clip, I believe, of a girl named Becky who came out and spoke up as well. I believe I talked about this one last time, which that at the time was the only revealed clip from her live shows. She was the one who was put in a yoga pose. And she did admit to dressing kind of provocative because she wanted to get called up on stage. And she was put in a yoga pose, and Miranda spread her legs about as far as possible, to the point where she was very afraid that what she was wearing was not covering her enough. And at the time, this girl was only 16. And you had all these adult men, obviously, because parents there with their kids, looking at a 16-year-old girl being spread eagle on stage, making a fart joke.
Well, I heard that she was covering the part where her crotch was with her head. But
Not from what I've seen.
oh, well, that's why I heard that she was covering her crotch up with her head doing that. So, but that still is just awful. And the apology video, Kratos, she says, this is all started because like 5 years ago she did a fart joke.
Yeah, and that
so-
scene with that girl on stage was the fart joke that she referred to.
So
There was
This
also scenes in her live show, a skit where she would do something called how to get rid of porn. Talking about porn to kids ranging from the age of like 7 to 13. Calling a teenager up on stage again. Now, supposedly, these people were told to dress not like slutty, but certainly a little provocative, so that she could make fun of the person and compare that person to someone who would be dressed identical as her on stage. And she would go, "This is how you get rid of porn." Then she would call the person on stage. She goes, "I need 2 volunteers." She'd call the volunteers on stage. The one girl would be dressed slutty, sort of. The other girl would be completely covered up, dressed exactly like Colleen on stage. And she would go, "This is the difference between porn and not porn. You see how this girl is dressed? Well, this is porn. This is how you dress porn. This girl next to me, this is how you dress for not porn. Porn, not porn. Porn, not porn." And in that segment, she must have said porn probably about 50 times.
Well, I mean, talking about porn, like, I don't remember if we talked about this, but she was sending naked pictures of Trish Paytas to
What's
these
going on, Anani?
and to these kids in like DMs.
Yeah, that too. Yep. In her group chat, she was subscribed to Trisha Paytas' OnlyFans account, and Colleen was taking her nudes and stuff and sending them to 13 and 14-year-olds on the internet, which is, first of all, illegal. Don't know why nobody didn't put a stop to that. Especially when her and Trisha Paytas were supposed to be friends and they started a podcast together, which only lasted 3 episodes before all this shit came out. Trisha Paytas has also spoken out against all this, and there are clips of what she had said, some of the things that she had said as well. She also had made fun of the time when she was a kid, how she got a dog killed. And she joked about it, saying, "I murdered a dog." And she told this story about how when she was a kid, she was playing with her, I think it was her own dog, no less. She was playing with her dog. She was antagonizing the dog. The dog got pissed off and bit her. And she had to go to the doctor or whatever. And the doctor determined that I guess the dog's bite was bad enough, and the dog had to be put down. And yeah, there's clips on the internet of that too, saying, "Oh, blah blah blah, this happened, the dog." And she goes, "So I'm responsible for murdering a dog."
This bitch needs to go to jail.
We're not done.
No.
This rabbit hole, like I said, is about as deep as her pussy is.
No. I guess we're not kid friendly tonight either. So.
No, we're not kid friendly any night.
That's a good point.
She wrote 2 books. I believe they were published by Schumer, something Schumer. I don't remember the name of them. The publishing company that published these books. One was called Self-Health, which is supposed to be self-help, but she thought it would be funny to misspell the words. The other one was called My Diary Sings. but she spelled diary like diarrhea. These books were pretty much marketed to children. They were written to look like children's books. In fact, I got some screenshots of a YouTube video here that I'm going to show on the screen. And we're going to take a look at these. Because some of the stuff you're going to see is a little disturbing. Just a little disturbing. Alright, so as soon as you guys can see it on the screen, pop that up there. Here we go. Alright, you guys see this? Here's a page. We're going to thumb through some of this stuff. Here's a page in one of her books. My uncle wrote out the different bases in touching in relationships. Again, a book aimed at children. Describing what a home run is. First of all, this is not correct. A home run is when you get laid. Anyways, in this book, a home run, she writes, this is your first kiss. It's like eating the last plump of the season. Your lips gush with juice as it runs down its skin, and your tongue runs across the tender flesh bursting with flavor. It's like that.
Wow.
Let me see. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can get a better shot of this. Okay, hold on. Let me mute this. Okay, here we go. You guys see this? This is a page in her book. I think it's page 82. The page is entitled, How to Do Children. YouTube, do not ban me. I didn't make this. You're seeing this. Disgusting. Let's continue.
That's horrible.
Now, I'm scrubbing through his video. Here's another page. How to cuddle. With pictures of examples of how to cuddle. You have back-to-back. You have spooning. You have in the womb. And you got some other ones here. You have sharing air. This one's called the uncle. And 69.
Oh my god.
She writes, cuddling is important in marriage because it's when you touch for the first time. Here are the cuddling positions. There's something mentally wrong with this woman, and why in God's name did anybody think this was good to publish for children?
Hold on, I want to know why the uncle is called the uncle when one person laying on top of the other. I'm like, that's horrible.
I don't know. Let me see. Is there any more examples he put in this video? Let me see. I don't think there are. I'm just scrubbing through his video to see if there's any more screenshots of the book. I don't think there are.
I know in one of the books that she was doing a video on, and it was about hot dogs. And she was comparing it to a pussy. And they were saying she wanted to put blood on one of these hot dogs because make it look like a pussy with period going on. So I was like, that's horrible. And she admitted, just because I'm a sick pervert. Like, wow, you're pretty fucked up, woman.
So here's the second book called My Diary. Again, she wanted to spell it like diarrhea. Here's a page. Now, this person did all the censoring himself, thank God. She wrote about a snake. She goes, the snake was dumb. He wouldn't stay on my neck like a necklace. I set him free by flushing him down the toilet.
Wow.
here's something else. This might be a little bit harder to read. So that's about as zoomed in as it's going to get. So her teacher, I guess, in school, wrote a letter, I guess, to her parents about how she accidentally set the class hamster free. So this is the letter you can see where she wrote underneath it. The letter is what the teacher sent, I guess, to the parents, her parents. So she took a copy of this letter, put it in her book, and wrote a response to this letter for her book that says, "Okay, Mrs. Zealot is a liar. Flushing that hamster was not an accident."
Wow.
So she admits to killing animals, which
Yep.
is against the law, to being a creep, borderline pedophile. You can't really say she is a pedophile because she hasn't tried to meet children for sex that we know of. But she is very damn close to one.
I think she's definitely to the line where, one, you're sending nude pictures to minors. Two, you have minor. I think she is, because when she did that thing to this girl named Becky,
Flame Legend, what's up?
spreading her legs, to me, and your face is down there. To me, you're a pedophile, or at least a groomer.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a groomer. Absolutely.
It's like Anani says, she's into animal cruelty too. So this bitch is even worse. So, like, what the fuck?
Oh, here's some of the hate comments she put in that song, if you guys want to try to read these.
Okay.
We got some of them that says, "Girl, you're done. McDonald's is hiring." Someone said, "Repent." Someone says, "You need help." Someone said, "Be quiet. You don't seem okay. Stop doing drugs. I feel bad for her cat. Have you considered mental illness?"
Oh, God.
I can't really read the rest of these. They're a little blurry.
Yeah, they really are.
But there's some of them. The ones that were in her song were certainly worse than these. There's just some of the hate comments. Let's go up to the video, see if there's any more. Oh, wait a minute. What do we got? We got more here. Okay, we've seen this one on the right. That one is... There's a page which I skipped over about 3 ways on how to play hard to get, which... yeah, we don't need to go into the rest of that. I don't think there's anything else on the book in this video. But, yeah. So, I'm just scrubbing through a little bit more, and I don't see anything else. But, yeah, you guys can find... oops. There we go. You guys could find all these clips and whatnot that I've talked about just by searching Collen Ballinger live, Miranda Sings live. You'll find out, or searching Collen Ballinger book. You'll find all this stuff on YouTube and plenty of videos. This girl, this woman is fucked up in the head. And I don't even know if mental help can fix her at this point.
Well, are you wrapping up on this one, Rose? Because
I'm getting there. I think we've covered the majority of everything she's fucking done.
Well, I want to bring something up.
I heard they made a song about her before she even became famous on YouTube. Insane in the membrane.
Right.
So, this week, actually 2-3 weeks ago on H3 podcast, they were reviewing that apology, and they were doing a PowerPoint of the apology and other things, like the PowerPoint of her career. And they they were watching the music video, and they weren't even doing it from start to end. They were stopping it, talking what they believe was going on, making comments, and she hit their live stream for copyright for her. She copyrighted Toxic Gossip Train.
Right. She has copyrighted the song to try to make money off of her own misery that she created. Yeah, so she is now putting copyright claims out on people that are covering her video and covering her in general. I mean, she has become a meme at this point as well. Somebody did a custom Guitar Hero track, and someone was playing Guitar Hero to the song. Somebody did AI covers of SpongeBob characters singing the song. So not only is, people just not taking her seriously at this point, she's another one that she certainly needs mental help. Her lawyers, God help them, because if they can get her out of this mess, they're the best lawyers on the planet. Especially when she was advised to not talk about any of this, and she did anyway.
I got one other thing. So, not only she did copyright several people for that song, like a couple days ago, she sent a cease and desist letter from the lawyer to who they thought was H3 Podcast, but on Twitter, it was Ethan's Basement, and they thought that was H3 Podcast. It was a fan group site. So what? So Ethan said he thinks it's fake, and then later on that night, he got the letter through an email that Collen Ballinger sent. That says her lawyer sent him a cease and desist from making any more comments. And honestly, he talked about it because, I mean, honestly, she has no merit. I mean, I think what they use, I highly suggest people check it out. One, it's hilarious, especially they made fun of it. They made a gossip, like a soul version, like a church version of Toxic Gossip Train. It was hilarious. But you could see that they'll play it for a little bit, then they'll make a comment, play a little bit and make a comment, play a little bit, and it's not like 10 minutes of not only no breaks and no commentating over it. They were breaking, commentating, play it and break and repeat,
Right, and that's how a reaction video, or what they call a commentary video, that's how those are done.
Yeah. So, honestly, she went after H3 Podcast. One, they're the biggest group talking about it. So, and the copyright claim on it, so they can get the money for that stream. So one to take that thing down, either take it down or they wanted the money from his stream.
Probably both.
Yeah, because I believe what they said, the lawyer let go a lot of the copyrights but minus H3, because I believe they're the biggest channel talking about it right now. So it's been quite interesting, but it's just amazing how this woman is not in jail. She should have been canceled long before this fucking video has been posted. But if that video never posted, I had no idea who the fuck this woman was.
Oh yeah, I didn't know who she was either until this happened. Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's been one big giant rabbit hole that's been entertaining watching and disgusted at the same time as well. Like, I mean, like I said before, at least EDP actually said, I'm sorry, or apologize.
He may have skated around what he did by not really saying what he did, but like I said, I think everybody who knew who he was previously from the Sting already knew what he did. So that's why he didn't say what he was sorry for, because he felt he didn't need to.
Well, while Colleen didn't even... One, she didn't even say, I'm sorry. She didn't say, I apologize. She didn't say what she was being accused of. Sup? She said, I'm not a groomer. The only thing I ever groomed was my
my two Persian cats.
Yeah. So she definitely not even taking... she was denying those accusations.
She denied everything just by making that stupid song. She clearly did not take her accusation seriously.
Yeah, and everyone who was in that she victimized believed that all they did was she made fun of them during that whole video, and I agree. I feel like that's all they did. She made fun of her victims.
Yep, and then in turn, people made plenty of fun of her.
But I'm trying to remember, there's one other thing, but oh gosh.
Normally, I don't go down YouTube rabbit holes, but for some reason, I went down this one pretty deep.
I did too. That's why, usually I don't watch H3 podcasts, but I was like, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of interested what their opinions on this, and a lot of times they're funny about it. So, oh gosh, I forgot I was going to bring up, but yeah, this bitch needs to be in jail. Oh, yeah, she didn't even say this is an apology video. It was just hi.
Yeah, that was it. Hi.
And that was it. It was not an apology. I don't know where people got to saying it's an apology video when there was nowhere near anything's taking any accountability. She only said she made mistakes, but she's not gonna be taking everything. She's not gonna take 100% of the blame, even though she's pretty much throwing her victims under the bus. So
yeah, she's messed up in the head. Like I said, Casey, when you got up, I said, God help her lawyers. I said, if they can get her out of this mess, they're the best lawyers in the world.
I don't know if they'll be able to get her out of this one. Honestly, she's definitely canceled now. It's just...
Well, she's been bleeding subscribers. I don't know. Let's see if we can find, her...
2 weeks ago, 8 million subscribers 2 weeks ago.
Like, I think her biggest channel was
10 million subs.
Yeah, still 10 million subs. Her main channel, and the one she decided to put this apology was on her newest channel that I think only has 3 million subs.
Okay, so I got it right here. This is Social Blade.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this up on the screen, and let's take a look at it. Why is this not... That's not what I want. No, it's Discord. Get the fuck out of here. Cancel that. Okay, there we go. Maybe now it'll work. Boom! Alright, so...
A lot of subs because of this, though.
So here's her subs loss. You can see right here, within the last 30 days, she has lost 100,000 subscribers. Her revenue is between $314 to $5,000. Estimated monthly earnings. Video views are still over 1 million views and are actually going up. Gee, I wonder why. No, her weekly views are going down, but her monthly views are going up. Weekly earnings, she's worth 3.8 thousand to 60.4 thousand subscribers. And as you can see here, this is the Collen Ballinger channel. 8.51 million subscribers now. You can see day by the day, she's lost on 7-3, 10,000, 7-4, 10,000, 7-6, 10,000, 7-9, 10,000, 7-13, another 10,000. Daily average subscriber loss, 3,300 subs a day losing. She's averaging about 23,000 subs a week she's losing. And in the last 30 days, like I said, she's lost 100,000 subscribers.
Well, I'm looking at my social blade. Apparently, I'm supposed to estimately get 90 cents to $14 a month, and estimated between $11 to $174 a month.
Yeah, let's watch her subscriber count real quick and see if it goes down over the next couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
So, I was just curious when you said social blade. I was like, oh, I hadn't been on there for a while. I'm just curious what's mine looking like.
Yeah, it doesn't look like no one's unsubbing right now, which is kind of disappointing because I wanted to see this number go down a little bit.
Well, yeah, she needs to be taken down, and what's shocking, YouTube doesn't. I mean, this woman is confirmed groomer, and she pretty much admits that she's into animal cruelty. What do you need? Does this bitch need to kill someone to take her off YouTuber? No, but off YouTube?
Right?
all that can be done to take her off YouTube is her posting a video of Kunta Kinte getting whipped in group. That, and then reenacting said scene with her and her whatever guy she can find for it.
Well, you know what?
YouTube real quick.
I think she would actually get away with that, though. I think
that if she's the one being whipped.
I was just taking a look at my social blade, which I just threw on the screen for the hell of it.
If she was the one who was doing the whipping, I think she could get away with this.
She needs to go away forever, says Steve Collen. Yeah, absolutely.
And
I still stand by what I said 2 weeks ago. Take away her ability to reproduce, cut off her chest, and pretty much throw her in the darkest hole of hell that no one's going to find.
And we probably should cut off her hands so she can't write any more books.
Oh. Well, that'd still be like
just cut off the fingers. That's it.
Just cut off the fingers.
Let it keep her stumps of a palm.
Well, don't you need like a pencil paper. You can do your whole book on the computer now. So you have to take your computer away.
She shouldn't have a computer after all this shit.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this woman, not only her computer needs to be taken away, she definitely should be canceled. She should be in jail.
Absolutely. EDP maybe doesn't completely deserve to be in jail, but this bitch definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely did like 10 times, maybe 100 times worse than what EDP did. I mean, at least no one actually got hurt in this freaking sting that he got caught up.
No, but this woman was involved in a lot of skits involving children and
Yeah.
sending a 14-year-old fucking bra and panties.
Yeah.
And
That was the other thing I wanted to bring up is about how she brought this kid brown panties, but I think we talked about that
last
last
time,
time.
yeah, last time.
I mean, it's amazing. I guarantee you if I did one of those, I'm done.
I'm sure.
No, I'll be off YouTube. I'll be in jail.
Put it this way: we joke about you having kids in your closet, but we all know you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So, anything else on the Colleen Ballinger rabbit hole? I think I've dug about as deep as we need to on that. I don't know if anything new is going to come out on this woman. It's certainly possible, but
Definitely.
for now,
I
I think we've laid the Colleen Ballinger rabbit hole to rest.
Well, I think right now this is what we're at. I think we're at the end of the hole for right now. But I think it will definitely get deeper later on. Especially if all this stuff is coming out, I guarantee you we hadn't seen the end of it. Something else either is gonna come out or she's gonna do another stupid response video. So something's gonna happen again. Probably not immediately, but
I hope she makes another response video, honestly. I really fucking do. Because I'm curious to see what song she writes next.
Oh, you know what they were saying? When she's strumming on the ukulele, people are saying she was doing the same riff that she was doing for the song for her ex-husband. Because what's funny, she didn't give her husband at the time a gift, so she did a song on the ukulele, and it's the same riff, and you could see him kind of disappointed look on his face. He was shaking his head too. So it's been
Like I said, Colleen Ballinger is YouTube's Alinity from Twitch.
Okay, so actually I found this song. I want to play a little bit of it. Colleen Ballinger, Miranda sings a song for the haters. And they say Netflix is a joke. Now, do they actually play the song here? I'm going to mute up for a second because I want to see if they actually play the song in this video. I want to play a snippet of it. Give me 1 second.
ooh.
You're going to hear it through my microphone. Because I can play it through the TV.
Yeah, I can hear it now.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to play the beginning of what she says leading into the song. And then I'm going to let you guys listen to a little bit of the song. But, yeah, so you guys are going to be able to hear this off the TV. You're going to hear it through my microphone. So, here you go. Which means you guys on the Skype should be able to hear it as well. Alright, take a listen.
So I write songs about the hate that I get, and I would love to sing one for you guys tonight, if that's cool. Yes. Awesome. I got my ukulele.
Oh, no.
So, I have to...
And just a preface, yes, she is very pregnant in this live show. This is the one where she made the joke about the little tiny penis that's inside of her, by the way. Alright, song time.
warn you, all of the lyrics to this song are hate comments that I have received. So there's a lot of bad words, and there is some crude language in this song. So to all of the mothers that I'm about to offend, thank you. Why are you a YouTuber? I'm not a hater, I just hate your vids. And your voice. You look uglier than my ass. No offense. Does she have cancer? Because I don't want to make fun of her if she does. She's so effing annoying. Your clothes are so ugly. Maybe you need to go into a model class. Your clothes look like pajamas. You don't know what you're wearing. You look good to you. You look bad to me. Roses are red, violets are blue. Corn of is down, Collen Ballinger will do. Her face is a rip-off, so sad. Nice funky forehead, but head totally stupid. I hack to you with a passion, thumbs up. Her face scares me, she needs more makeup. She has a uniboob. I'm pretty sure her vagina smells like cat food. That one's accurate.
You guys are hearing this, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
She thought this was appropriate to sing to children. Her vagina smells like cat food, and she remarks that that was accurate.
Well.
Let's see. There's another almost 2 minutes of this. I think I'll play another 30 seconds. Let's go another 30 or so seconds on this. Let's see. Let's hear a little bit more of what she was singing about.
I swear that comment gave me Forrest Whitaker eye from rolling it back so much.
You might think that I'm hurt or I'm feeling abused, but I'm not getting paid from your comments and views. So keep the comments coming, but here's
That's the chorus, by the way.
Go insulting people, maybe learn how to spell. Dum-da-dum, dum-da-dum, you sound so dumb. Dum-dum, you sound so dumb. What the duck is wrong with her face? Duck, duck, duck. Ah, they're 8-year-olds watching this. She looks fat, but still pretty. I think she might be a dude. You remind me of a reason because you have wrinkles and everyone hates you. You look like Miranda, you look like Miranda. Are you Miranda? Are you Amanda? Are you Miranda? Are you a marinade sings? No offense. I'm not a marinade, so none taken. You might think that I'm...
Okay, so I think that's enough. Yeah. No. Clearly, she doesn't take anything seriously. She probably should.
Definitely.
She probably should. We're not going to look at another Miranda sings clip ever again. I just wanted you guys to hear a little bit of that because I figured, let's look up the song. She goes, ew, the odor, and Nani goes, ew, the odor of cat food. She needs to see a gynecologist. Must have an untreated STD or a UTI. Disgusting. She can't sing for shit. This sounds like 2008 YouTube.
Yes, she is actually best friends with Shane Dawson, believe it or not.
So, I don't think I'll get copyrighted for that.
A couple months ago.
Oh, you know what? I'll just do it already for you. I'm gonna go ahead and flag the video, so it'll be fast.
This fucking asshole. What's going on, AJ? Jewish isn't a race; it's a religion. What the fuck?
So, TSS brought up something a second ago. I waited after this. Is a great point. Saying that there might be a reason why YouTube hasn't got rid of her yet. It's caused this me being just speculating, but I think they have a contract with her. And that makes a lot of sense, especially when she had a contract with Netflix.
I'm hoping Netflix dropped her ass by now. I think they did.
I think she only did a lot.
Hold on, one at a time.
I think she only did 2 seasons on Netflix. But I agree with TSS. I think she might have been has some partnership with YouTube, and that's why they hadn't got rid of her yet. But Google needs to look into getting rid of this bitch.
I mean, she's lost a lot of sponsorships already, so I don't see why YouTube can't just break her contract.
Especially, you figure there should be some legal loopholes saying, hey, if you do something that we frown upon, well, we could cancel the contract. It's kind of like how WWE has any right to cut any wrestler at any time. I mean, WWE can cut wrestlers at any time, while wrestlers, they don't have the power. They can quit, but they're losing a ton of money on the table, or they can get sued by the company at the worst. So,
and TSS goes, well, at least I know where she gets her comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Referring to me saying that she's friends with Shane Dawson.
Well, her group, she always get information and ideas from is a group of kids. That's why there's this whole thing of like she doesn't pay her team because the fans, and they were wanting to
joke in a different chat room. But I make jokes better in chat than this girl. Seriously. Like, here's one, for example. I said, word of advice, don't bring a pimp to a square dance. Because he'll be ready to pull his gun out when he hears the words, "ho down."
But, yeah, this woman needs to be put away. Like, it's just amazing she's able to get away with this. Like, I was telling AJ everything on Friday is Raw, and he was disgusted every time I said all the accusations that I could think of on top of my head that she did. And he was disgusted every step of the way. And like,
put this woman in the 1600, just say, she's a witch, and then run off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who has dropped her from their sponsorships.
I know all her live shows been canceled now.
Right.
Like, she did that on her own when she released that high video. She could have, if she would have said anything, it probably would have stayed under the radar. But she said something, people didn't, it just went viral. And even people who's never heard of her, like people like me, Kratos, and the Rose, we never heard of this woman, but now we do because the shitstorm she's in right now.
And now we wish we never knew who she was.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you kind of want to know who she is, though, because that's the people who needs to be ostracized from society. I mean, I feel like some people need to get a second chance.
Not her.
Well, she doesn't even want to take any accountability, so there's no thing. She's not going to be sorry for anything. I mean, the only reason she did this is because I guess she had some backlash going on, and she had to put this video out, and it just made everything 100 times worse.
Now, I'm wondering now, if she didn't ever put the video out, I think all of this probably would have blown over by now.
Oh, definitely. No one would have heard about this. A lot of this would escape under, but she made... But then again, she's well known now. Remember how they say...
Controversy creates cash.
Not only that, all news is good news, or all press is good press. So, I mean, people are
Tell that to Joe Biden as approval rating at this damn point.
Well,
Oh,
so
crap.
is there anything else to add to the Colleen Ballinger mess? I don't think so.
Nah, I think I'm done. For now. I'm gonna keep my eye on it.
Yeah, me too. Kratos?
Like I said, just throw her in the 1600s, shout, "She's a witch!" and then just let her die there.
Throw her in the gulag.
All right, well, let's talk wrestling. Casey's favorite subject next to video games.
It's up there. I mean, yes, I like wrestling, and I know you talking.
I'm gonna step away from the topic because I never played the game yet.
Oh no, we're not talking about the game. The game. I'm going to do the game review last. So this is the band moves and spots from AEW TV. According to a news report from Fightful Select, AEW has sent out a document that outlines a list of moves that are either banned or require approval from above. The banned moves list includes unprotected chair shots to the head, which makes sense, strikes to the back of the head, blind moves backwards into the turnbuckle, aka buckle bombs.
Same thing that really injured Sting during that fight against Seth Rollins back in, I think, 2015.
And the one that injured Finn Balor when he did it to the barricade outside the ring.
Yeah, during that Universal title match.
Spitting and selling like one is having a seizure because
I've never seen someone having a seizure in a wrestling match.
Bryan Danielson faked a seizure in his match at Forbidden Door. That's why that's on the list. Yeah, that was found out. Mm-hmm. That was found out. He faked a seizure at the end of his match.
Wow.
Which is why that's on there.
Wow.
Wrestlers are also prohibited from physical contact with the crowd, including taking food or drinks from the fans in attendance. Weapons and projectiles in the crowd are no-no, as is bleeding in the audience. The list of moves that require approval from the above is much broader and includes the things like bumps on the ring apron or outside the ring, any spot with tables, ladders, or chairs, all variations of pile drivers, hurricane ranas, and sit-down drivers, using weapons and throwing objects, choking with hands or weapons, high-risk dives and top rope moves, bleeding on purpose, injury spots, any spots brawling in the crowd, and any spots involving non-wrestlers like referees, managers, and celebrities.
So they're saying blading is banned now.
Well, it's not banned. It needs to get approval from management.
Oh, okay. Well, there's one thing you read before this list went down, where about pulling weapons from the crowd. My memory refreshes, like when you go to an arena or a stadium, you're not allowed to bring any weapons to the arena or stadium.
Well,
unless you're talking about like
I think they were referring to like they can't use weapons in the crowd and they can't throw chairs and stuff in the crowd. And remember how that one ECW crowd a long time ago took their chairs and threw all their chairs in the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were referring to that as well.
Well, and I guarantee you, getting a drink out of someone's hand or food out of hand, I guarantee you that's going to happen. But I think 99% of the time, it's usually a plant.
Right, but like
Yeah,
how Adam Page before the whole COVID thing was coming out and just taking drinks from the audience. Yeah, that's not allowed anymore.
Yeah, like we're just drinking other people's beers. That's definitely a smart rule for that, because you don't know if they spiked it. What if they spiked it with something like with their meds?
Or like
And
how MJF's like the biggest heel in the company, but
Yeah.
he would go out in the crowd or like make fun of the audience, or like once in a while he'll like smack somebody's hat off their head and stuff. You can't do that either anymore. So
a lot of this makes any spot crawling in the crowd. That's WWE does that still.
right.
So I'm kind of shocked taking that away.
WWE still does the buckle bombs. WWE still does moves off the top rope and with ladders and tables and chairs and stuff like maybe they have to get approval too. But I think this is all outlined now because AEW has always been seen as more of an outlaw promotion, where it seemed like the wrestlers seemed like they were more in control than management was at some point. And now that I think their contracts to Time Warner and WB, Warner Bros. Discovery, are coming up, I think this is why they're doing this, so that they can get a better contract worth more money. So it's kind of like AEW as a company needs to start growing up a little bit.
I agree, but I'm hoping they're not going to take it completely like PG, like how WWE is. But AJ said in the comment, in the immortal words of Booker T, he said, "Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, Snickers."
Oh, Casey.
I said Snickers.
Damn it, Casey.
What's wrong with Snickers? The candy bar.
Some of these I kind of don't agree with, though. Like, moves off the top rope, like, why? Dives, maybe, diving to the outside, maybe put a limit on that, because a lot of guys do it, and it doesn't seem special when everyone goes out there and does the same shit. The bleeding could definitely be toned down a bit, because, somebody's bleeding on TV literally every fucking week.
John Moxley.
And not only that, Kenny Omega was bleeding last week.
Oh, Moxley bleeds every week, though. Anytime he's in the match, he's bleeding. Like, shoot, he had, I think, in Japan or something, where he had a bunch of these sticks that was sticking out in his head. Like, he shoved it into his head.
But, some of these make sense, like choking with the hands or weapons. First of all, choking is already illegal in wrestling. Using weapons and throwing objects I can understand. Pile drivers, while it's a cool move to see, but again, when a lot of people do it, and pile drivers are very risky because when they're taken the wrong way or done the wrong way, like that Tiger Driver 91 that Will Ospreay uses, I think that's why the pile drivers are on there. Hurricane Ranas, I don't necessarily agree with this one. Maybe the Poison Rana, especially the Poison Ranas off the top rope, where you get spiked on your head.
There's a lot of times there's some moves with that's related to the head. It makes me cringe every time.
Now, Go on. Go on.
Oh, if I said, hold on.
No, keep going.
I'm saying that any moves that's related to the head, it makes me cringe because I don't want to see anyone get injured, especially by their neck. Like, when someone do a hurricanrana or even a pile driver. Like, oh my God, I'm getting flashes of Stone Cold from Owen Hart. You know?
Now, I have a question about the pile drivers, one and the sit-down drivers. Right? Sit-down drivers? Isn't
Yeah.
Kenny Omega's one-winged angel a sit-down driver?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But the sit-down driver, kind of like the Destroyer, the Canadian Destroyer.
Right. Yep.
Because remember, like a couple years ago, they were doing it all the time. Even one of the wrestlers that was part of the Midnight Express, one of them did a Canadian Destroyer.
And
so, like,
remember Adam Cole's finisher used to be the Panama Sunrise, which was a Canadian Destroyer off the middle turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Now he still uses it once in a while in AEW, but it's nowhere near, it's not his finisher anymore. Now what about the Indie Taker, the double team move that the Bucks do? They're not going to be able to do that all the time anymore, or the Meltzer driver, whatever the hell they want to call it.
Yeah.
They also, and then what about what is it? It's Penta, right? The one that Penta that does the package pile driver as his finisher.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like Kevin Steen's old move, isn't it?
So a lot of wrestlers are going to have to change their finishing moves or their signature moves because a lot of them are pile drivers. Even which one of FTR uses a pile driver as a signature move? I forgot if it's Dax or Cash.
I think Dax.
So that's going to be out. I mean, like I said, you could use it once in a while if it gets approval, but you're not going to see it all the time anymore.
But, I mean, there's some moves I kind of almost like to see the super kick to go away, too, because, I mean, look what Goldberg did to Bret Hart.
Right.
I mean, like, it cringes me every time when I see the super kick because, I mean,
everybody does that, man. Back in when wrestling was amazing, there was only one man in wrestling doing it, and his name was Shawn Michaels.
And it was special.
And now everybody does it. Everybody.
Yeah, literally everyone. Even Miro does it. The Bucks does it. And it's not just AEW. He does it too.
Yeah,
you remember the whole thing where putting the sign up says don't do die slapping no more?
Right.
Because every time you do a super kick, they would do the die slap.
Yeah, to make it sound louder and more impactful.
So, I'm scared of that. Oh my God. This is what AJ just said. What Goldberg did to Bret Hart is called getting me killed.
Oh my God. Let's see. Yeah, this was... Yeah, we need this... We need the views, so we're stealing some clout. Adam 22 sounds like a Jack Murphy wannabe of the internet. Rose, Tiger Driver 91 isn't a pile driver, it's a Tiger power bomb to the shoulders. Yeah, but it's part of the reason, like, it's still, I guess, seen as a sit-down driver. Kind of a move. Because the Tiger Driver 91 was one of the references that was made to this list.
I'm just curious, the injury spot. What are they meaning about injury spot?
I'm guessing, like, they fake an injury. I guess similar to the way where, like I said, Bryan Danielson faked the seizure at the end of his match with Okada at Forbidden Door.
What about if you need to write someone off for a few weeks because, this person's getting married, or this person we still hadn't got a contract written up, so we're going to have to take you off TV for a while. So what we're going to do, we're going to storyline injure you. So
TSS goes, bullshit, this rule was introduced this week in FTR in their tag match at Collision. They were still using the pile driver. I mean, like I said, they're going to have to get it. It's going to have to be an approved spot. It's not going to be all the time anymore. Like,
Yeah,
they're not going to use it in every match.
Yeah, what I was hearing from Solid Monster says it's probably quality control because if everyone's doing the same thing over and over and over, by the main event, if they're doing the same moves, that's been done several times during the whole card. I mean, it's not special, so I feel that's probably correct. That trying to make these moves a little bit more special, especially like when everyone like 2 matches of the show or even one match leading. I mean, like we know Blood and Guts is coming up this Wednesday.
Right, there's going to be blood in that match. So
yeah. So, I mean, they're going to use weapons. So, it's going to be quite interesting.
And you know, with them doing their own thing and really not having these rules for the last fucking 4 years, it's going to take some time for the wrestlers to adjust too. So, even though some of them did wrestle in WWE, so they should already know better. But I'm sure they get comfortable to AEW's more lax rules that now are starting to be rolled back a little bit. It seems.
I feel what TSS was saying. He says, Casey, this rule was put in place because Danielson didn't tell the doctor he was doing that spot. I'm assuming he's talking about when he was doing the fake seizuring.
Probably, yeah.
But I didn't see it. I've been lacking on my AEW wrestling. Plus, also, I don't watch much of WWE, so I'm trying to at least try to get back and to watch Collision and Dynamite.
Yeah, I didn't watch Collision yet from last night, so I got to go back and watch that myself. The view count for Collision is not doing great, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, one, it's on a Saturday, it's on a weekend. Honestly, it should be like they need to move it on. I wish they would move it on a Sunday, kind of, because let's say a pay-per-view, they could use Collision.
They could do what WWE did with Sunday Night Heat.
Yes, exactly. Because nowadays, WWE doesn't even do pre-show matches anymore, and they're always putting matches onto SmackDown if they already overbooked it too much.
Honestly, I think AEW should move Rampage. They shouldn't have Rampage every week. Rampage should be their buy-in show before the pay-per-views.
I agree.
And put Collision on Friday nights.
Move that on Sunday then. Because it'll be 1 hour show and you still have matches, so it would help people get into watching the pay-per-view.
And then you can reignite the war with WWE and you can put Collision on Friday and go up against SmackDown.
Well, I mean, no, because they'll get their ass kicked unless they put 2 hours. Then that's different.
Well, Collision's 2 hours now, just on a Saturday.
Oh, I thought you said Rampage.
No, I'm saying they could move Collision to Friday and put it and go up against SmackDown.
I don't know. You gotta remember, we gotta learn the mistakes from TNA, though. I mean, they tried to do the Monday Night War Part 2, and they got their ass kicked by WWE. Because
they also didn't have the freaking roster that WWE had either.
Well, honestly, when I was watching during that time frame, I would try to give TNA my view first, and then I would go back and watch Raw later on a tape recording.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, honestly.
So I was because I wanted TNA to get my view, but honestly, I was in the minority.
So,
Right.
Kratos, I know you don't watch much AEW, but what do you think of them putting these new rules in place for their company?
I think it's about time AEW grew up now. So I agree with him.
Now, the question to you guys is, how long do you think this shit's gonna stick for before they start peeling back on these quote unquote bans or required approval for spots, because people like John Moxley are always just gonna want to do what they want anyways.
That's a good question. I mean, let's say if a lot of these big name people, they get permission first. Like they're saying, well, I'm gonna be blading, I'm gonna be doing my pile driver, I'm gonna use weapons. So those are 3 out from other people using. So
now here's a question too. So if they're gonna ban pile drivers and sit out drivers and moves on the apron and whatnot, what about the spike DDTs that some people use, where you get spiked on your head from a DDT, which could be just as dangerous?
I think they perfected the DDTs nowadays. They're not as it's not like the pile driver. I feel they're more protected than pile drivers are. But I mean, I think that's a good comment. And I remember, trying to remember what match. I know it was on Collision. I remember it was recently. It was with Orange Cassidy versus was it Lance Archer, whatever, the Murder Hawk, and
Lance
he
Archer,
did
yeah.
What?
I was saying that is Lance Archer, yeah.
Yeah.
So he did. Jake the Snake Roberts was going to do his DDT on Orange Cassidy, but he got out, and then he did his bike DDT on Lance Archer. So, and it was out on the ground too.
Yeah, which again, spots on the outside of the ring and bumps on the outside of the ring now have to be get approval. So there's going to be, it seems like there's going to be less fighting outside the ring, certainly a lot less fighting in the crowds, less bleeding, less high spots. I mean, in a way, it's good because, again, when just about everybody does the same shit, each match doesn't really feel special anymore.
No. And you know what's shocking? That they hadn't brought up about people throwing into their opponents into the barricades, where the barricades buckle into kids.
Yeah, and into the crowd.
It's every other match on every show. I'm wondering, when is someone get injured from when a wrestler is going to be tossed into the barricade? I mean, you've seen some of these events where the fans are leaning on these barricades. They're standing up and leaning on them.
That's why WWE uses those thicker walls that don't give when you throw somebody into them. But AEW still wants to be cool, wants to still be the cool kid in town and use the fucking roadblock style fucking metal barricades. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're cheaper. They're cheaper. They probably rent them from...
Granted, AEW finally actually did, about a year or so ago, actually did something to start padding them a little bit so that when people are thrown into them, they won't move as much. But they still move.
They still move quite a bit, unlike you said the WWE, but they have their more sturdy ones, unless they rigged it where they're going to do a spot,
Right, and then when they do that, they make sure nobody's there.
No, definitely not. And then, like, going down the ramps, you can see they heavily brace those barricades. Like, those are made of steel going from the entrance down to down the. So, but I also think AEW is saving a few bucks from renting the those barricades from probably the arenas instead of sending out their own, like trucking their own.
Right.
Because I guarantee you, a lot of those chairs are probably from the arenas, unless the front rows. I don't know if you go to the Raw or SmackDown if they have a special seat made for those, or if those are house shows chairs. And I would bet those are probably house chairs. But we know when at the pay-per-views they have special chairs that if you're on the floor and you buy a high-priced ticket, you keep the chair. So, honestly, if I paid that quite a bit of money, I would take my chair too.
Oh yeah, especially if it's a pay-per-view chair.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it was, let's say they have a special Raw or SmackDown chair, I'll take it too.
Like maybe when they go to MSG, like they did last week for SmackDown.
Yeah.
All right, so I know Kratos hasn't played the AEW game and probably never will. But it doesn't mean we have to leave him out of the discussion on the game review, because I know he's seen a little bit of my one stream I've done of it. I don't know if he's seen any of yours, but
I guess probably will return. But I'm thinking when I get some money, some people have enjoyed my storyline mode gameplay, so I might get WWE 2K23 and do some of that, because I never really played the storyline ones before, because what I do is, because WWE's roster is usually huge, and then you pay for either unlock the whole roster, or not only that, you can get a pack here and a pack there.
right.
AEW don't have a lot of wrestlers in there. That's shocking. You figured they would have more in there. But Cody Rhodes is in Fight Forever.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. So talking about the...
They confirmed that UP and 2K23 and Fight Forever already, though.
Yeah, within 3 months of each other, no less.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, when Fight Forever dropped, they did a digital. They had a discount, I think 33% off on their digital copies of the game on the same day when AEW dropped their first game.
Pettiness.
Huh?
I said pettiness. They're trying to lure everybody away from the AEW game.
Well, I mean, eventually those WWE games get marked down pretty quickly, though, too. So, too bad they don't do the physical discount versions, because
They do during the holiday season.
Oh yeah, but if they're going to do those special discounts, I wish they would do it for physical as well, too. But God, you go to fucking Walmart nowadays, they don't even... Walmart, at least in my area, I'm pretty sure probably across the country, they close at 11.
Yep.
So...
All Walmarts close at 11 p.m.
What?
I said all Walmarts close at 11 p.m.
So you can't even get the game at midnight anymore.
Nope.
So, when I went to pick up this game, I went to pick it up before So it's like 6-ish. It was. Hold on. Was it? I think it was before work. No, I think I picked up Breath of the Wild before work. But I think Fight Forever, I picked it after work. So this is like 5 o'clock-ish, 4 or 5 o'clock-ish in the afternoon, by the way. And go up there and to Walmart, and they still hadn't put it up. And this was release day. And so go up there, they had to go into it and find it. Because they were in no hurry. Put it up in the game rack.
That's because usually new games don't come out unless it's a Tuesday or a Friday.
Okay.
AEW put their game out on a Thursday, so.
Yeah, but they should have known, hey, there's going to be a game releasing, so we probably need to put them on. If they had a spot open, if you go to the PlayStation area where it's supposed to be, they had spots for the PS5 and PS4 version, and they were both empty. I'm like, and it's not like I went up there in the beginning of the day. This is right after work going up there, so they had all day to put that fucking game up.
Right.
And it took them 5 minutes to find it in the back.
The question is though, did they put out more copies, or did they just take one out for you?
Just take one out for me. That was it.
Dickheads. I went to GameStop for Fight Forever, says Collen. So did I.
I was originally going to go to GameStop. I went to apparently the day before. I was going to pick it up at GameStop. And then I called my game store that I like going to. But they don't usually pick up modern release games unless it's something special like Tears of the Kingdom, like the new Zelda games, or something they know they're going to sell quite a bit of. So I called them. They said, no, we're not getting that unless you pre-order it. So I was like, okay, then I'll just go to Walmart. And sometimes Walmart is a little cheaper. Sometimes they'll take $10 off, but I think they stopped doing that now.
And for some reason, if you guys haven't seen it yet, here's what I did on release day of the AEW game. Let's take a look. Hold on, let's fix this.
Shit.
Okay, here we go. If you missed it, this is what I did the day WWE or AEW came out. Trading in WWE for AEW. Ain't that ironic?
Yep.
How many views did you get off that?
Over 1,600.
Not bad. Not bad. How much, by the way, how much did you
fucking marks.
get?
I pre-ordered mine too, actually.
How much did you get for WWE 2K?
$10.
Oh, you got ripped off big time. You changed in Super Mario Maker 2?
Yeah, I got bored of it. I've done everything there is for me to do in that game. If I ever want to buy it again, I can. But I haven't played it in a while, so I'm like, fuck it. Don't need it.
Wow. But
TSS goes, I just got the game digitally, only get physical games of games that I really want. That I really want if. Whatever that if means. So yeah.
see, what pisses me off lately is kind of like what Nintendo did recently with they released Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Switch digital
Jesus
first.
Christ, AJ.
Like and then they'll release the physical form later on. I'm like, hold on, release them at the same time. I'm like, what's the biggest difference? I'm like, did you guys just figure like? I guess their figure will double dip, and then yeah, I'll be double dipping Pikmin 1 and 2. Actually, It'd be.
That's what I did for Sonic Origins. I bought it last year, and then I bought the Plus version physically for the Switch, just like I did with Mania.
Actually, I'd be doing it. GameCube, Wii. Now the Switch version
So you're gonna
digitally.
triple dip.
It'd be quadruple dipping on it when I get the physical form on Switch.
So let's talk about. Excuse me. Let's talk about the AEW game. To me, it feels a little bare bones. It does feel like it's an easy game to pick up and play. Like, you know, like you just pick up, you know, you put it in, you pick up the controller, and you just feel like you know what all the buttons do instantly.
Well, it's pretty similar to 2K almost.
And it's got a lot of similarities to, you know, the old Aki wrestling games from the N64. The spirit meter is there. The special moves is done by flicking the stick, just like back in the day. You know, you have the strong and weak grapple. You have a dedicated run button, a dedicated strike punch button, a dedicated kick button. The roster, honestly, with the amount of time they took to get this game out there, I feel like the roster could have been better. Like Claudio Castagnoli's been in AEW for how long before the game came out? They couldn't put him in it.
He was in for less than a year, hasn't he?
Right, but wasn't that enough time to still get him in the game?
Yeah, I would say yes.
What about Samoa Joe? He's not in the game?
I'd say it's true. They should have done that.
Or how about Evil Uno? The guy's been there since freaking day one with the AEW. He's not in the game either.
Wow.
There's only 2 people from the Dark Order out of 10 that are in the game. So the majority of Dark Order's not in the game. Max Caster and Bowens, they're not in the game.
The Acclaim.
Right, they're not in the game.
Wow.
I'm trying to think who else is not in the game. FTR was a DLC. Matt Hardy was a pre-order DLC. By the way, since I pre-ordered the game, I did not get my Matt Hardy code, so I'm a little butthurt about that. But yeah, they put Jeff in the game, but Matt was a DLC. That doesn't make sense.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to pick up Matt Hardy.
Yeah, you can. No, you can. He's out. $5. But if you pre-ordered the game, he's free. I pre-ordered the game and I didn't get my Matt Hardy code, so if I want him in the game, he's $5 for me, even though I pre-ordered the game. So yeah, but still, Jeff Hardy was on the base roster and Matt Hardy is DLC. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, Jeff is barely on the fucking shows. Like, the reason you don't see him in Canada right now is from all his DUIs right now.
Yeah, they need more roster. They fucked up. They're all going to be a DLC. I got the code from Matt Hardy. Yeah, you got one. I didn't. If I find my GameStop receipt, maybe it's on there and the fucking guy just didn't point it out.
It's possible. I think sometimes they do hide it in there, is on the receipt.
And then on the women's roster, like Abaddon, like the women's wrestlers, Abaddon is in the game, but when was the last time she was on TV? Then you have people, you know, you have some of the Japanese wrestlers. How often are they on TV? And they're in the game. Like Yuki Sakaza, whatever her name is. When was the last time she wrestled in AEW? She's in the game.
Well, look at Cody Rhodes. He's been out of AEW for a year and a half, maybe almost close to 2 years.
Yeah, and he's still in the game. That I don't understand. I don't understand. Big Show, he doesn't wrestle in the game. He doesn't wrestle for AEW. He's in the game. I guess for him I can understand because he's part of the company. But Mark Henry's part of the company. He ain't in the game either. He has a backstage role just like Big Show does, and he's not in the game. Hook, Taz's son, not in the game.
That's a big mistake right there.
Danhausen, although he doesn't wrestle and he's more of a joke character, not in the game.
Yeah, but that's another one that should have been in that game too. He's
Uh,
a big video game guy too.
Aiden English is not in the game. You know, the guy, the librarian guy. He's not in the game. Senny Kiss, not in the game. I know they're all, I don't know how often these people wrestle for the company anymore, but I think they're all still on the roster.
I think they used to be more on Dark. So, unlike, I know a lot of them hadn't been on the main shows unless they've been on Rampage.
Yeah, Konosuke Takeshita, he's in AEW, he's not in the game. Granted,
Danhausen will be DLC. Is that confirmed? Hey, I think I need to let my dogs go outside. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, since on the receipt, he says I'll have to look for it. Because Cody, when he signed the contract, for the game AEW, retained the rights to use him in the game. That's why he's in the game. But I am still surprised that WWE still didn't, try to get that pulled or something. Kind of like when Jeff Hardy left WWE to go to TNA in, 2005. And that's why he was pulled from SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. But yet, WWE realistically could have kept him in the game at that time. Danhausen is DLC. Okay. The game, like I said, is a little bare bones. There's not many match types. You have your one-on-one with or without managers. You have Falls Count Anywhere matches. You have Lights Out matches, which is a non-sanctioned match. You have the Exploding Barbed Wire Death Match, which once you see the spectacle of that once or twice, it's kind of fucking boring. So that match does not. That match, I would say, overstays its welcome pretty quick. You have ladder matches, but you don't have tables matches. You don't have cage matches, which don't make any sense. You don't have blood and guts matches. You don't have Texas death matches, aka last man standing matches. You have your let me try that again. You have your standard tag matches. You have triple threat matches and your fatal four ways, but you don't have triple threat tag matches or stuff like that. You have the Casino Battle Royale match, which is their version of the Royal Rumble. But yeah, I feel like the game is missing quite a few things. I know the Stadium Stampede is going to be confirmed to be added to the game eventually as a match type. But yeah, the fact that there's no cage match, when a cage match is as basic as it gets. Any wrestling game that I remember, except for the the WCW games on the N64, had cage matches. You have your creator suite, the creator wrestler for the body parts and stuff, and the tires and stuff is certainly lackluster when you compare it to 2K. The 2K games give you a hell of a lot more customization options. Although I did find it funny that you were able to create a likeness of Jim Cornette in Fight Forever, and you can give him the tennis racket to boot. I found that a little funny because of how often Jim Cornette, bags on how bad AEW is on his podcast. Now, when it comes to the moves and stuff, moves, there's plenty of moves for your wrestlers, thank God. The creative entrance thing just seems a little bare bones. You don't even really see you don't even really get to see the full effect of your superstars' created entrance when they come out to the ring. I do like the fact that, triggering the pyro is tied to the face buttons on the controller when they're standing out on the stage coming to the ring. You can set the pyro off yourself and as often as you want and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool. But as far as, the creator wrestler overall is a little lacking. But it is what it is. It still gets the job done for the most part. I've seen people create Deadpool in Fight Forever already. So, if you get creative enough, you could still create some pretty interesting characters.
Well, I prefer, like, what WWE does, or if you're going to create a wrestler, I wish they would let you upload it so other people can download it. So, because I'm too lazy to make my own create a wrestler. Because it's not only just making the person look like the wrestler, then you had to build their entrance and you got to build their fighting styles and the movesets. And like, that shit takes forever. I'd rather just download a bunch of different wrestlers than that. But you guys got to also know, this is the pilot run. This is not going to be full-fledged 2K version that WWE been, where they gave them all types of resources or gameplay engines that they've been using for years and years. I mean, shit, how long they've been with 2K now? At least 11 years now?
Something like that. I think 2K did what? The first one that they did was 2K13 or 2K14?
Nah, I think it was 2K11, I think. Maybe 2K12. But, like, they use the same engine over and over. It's like how they do with Madden and other sports games. They just copy and paste with a roster, refresh the roster. I mean, they're like, oh, well, this guy moved over here, and this guy goes over here. This guy's been added into the league now. So, but all the engine is the same. A lot of the graphics is the same. Sometimes in Madden, they take some shit out, and then a couple years from now, they'll put it right back in as it's something brand new.
Pretty much. TSS said the first game was 2K15.
Really?
So either way, it's still been 9 years. Or 8 years, rather.
I really thought it was longer than that.
So what did you think of the match types in the game, Casey?
What?
What did you think of the matches, the kinds of matches you could put on in the game?
It's bare bones, but I kind of like the blood. I really like it when they get all cut up. I mean, it's not like just WWE where they'll have a little cut on their forehead, and then that's it, and you get no blood on the canvas. And in AEW, no, it's on the forehead, it's going to be on their front, it's going to be on their back, and it's going to be all over the canvas. I mean, it won't stay there for a match. It would suddenly disappears after a little bit. But I'm shocked that they didn't put in blood and guts, but they put in the botched barbed wire explosion match.
Right, and I said while you were gone that the appeal of that match after you see it like once or twice in the game kind of wears off, and it just feels kind of lame afterwards because you can't get out of the ring, and there's no explosive landmines on the outside of the ring, like there's supposed to be. And once you see the spectacle of that match a couple of times, it just doesn't feel the same after that.
And that's the match people automatically goes to because it's, I mean, it's the most brutal one they have on there. I mean, yeah, they have a hardcore match, but or their lights out match, but the one thing I don't like is their weapons. A lot of their weapons, you hit it two times and it's gone.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm like, what? And plus, it's a little hard to pick up the weapons. So, but I wish if you're gonna hit them twice with it, at least allow them to pick it up again, not just disappear after 2 hits. I mean, I think that's stupid.
What do you think of the game? What do you think of the game not having a cage match or a tables match?
I done neither. I only really did the Casino Battle Royal. I went through the story mode once and like 1.5 times. Because I did the first one as Bryan Danielson. And then the second time, I think I was trying to go in as CM Punk.
Right, but I was asking you, though, like, for the game, you know, what do you think of the game not having a cage match or a tables match in it?
I thought you were saying... I thought they had cage matches.
No.
But... Table...
Because I was saying like a cage match is a match type that was in any wrestling game that I can remember, except for the WCW N64 games.
I mean, even in NES ones, WWE or the WWF games had some of them were mainly cage matches, but I don't usually care about the table matches, and I'm not usually fond of the cage matches either because cages, a lot of times you have to escape. I don't know if AEW does the same thing or you have pinfalls instead.
I think you can do either.
I'd rather would have saw blood and guts in there instead.
They are adding the Stadium Stampede match though, so that's confirmed. Which I'm really interested to see how they're gonna make that work.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be cool.
But how about this, Casey? There's no last man standing match or a casket match. You know?
Well, the casket match, that's more of a WWE thing. I don't even think they had a casket match in AEW, did they?
They've had about 3 or 4 of them, and I think they all involve Darby Allin.
Oh, you know what? I remember one with Darby Allin.
Yeah, but the one with the thumbtacks all over it.
But, I don't really think you need a coffin match. If out of those you really said, I were to put a cage match in there. But, I didn't miss them, honestly. I mean, I think you had a ladders match in there, right?
Yeah, there's a ladder match. I just hope they allow you to have a multi-man ladder match at some point instead of just a one-on-one ladder match. You know, like let us do like the Face of the Revolution ladder match where there's like 6 or so like different guys in the ring, you know, in the match.
I'm being corrected in the chat. It's not a casket match, it's a coffin match. Right. It's the same
fucking thing. They just can't call it a casket match. That's why AEW calls the last man standing match the Texas Death Match because they can't call it. They can't call it last man standing.
That is stupid. I mean, then WWE shouldn't have the right to the ladder match because they're not the first one to come up with that. I mean, Bret Hart was doing that in Canada before they even did that in WWE. So, and I mean, I can understand not calling a match TLC or Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match. I can understand that. That's a brand name. Because they actually had a match, pay-per-view called that. But a difference between a casket and coffin match, I mean, that's just stupid.
It's pretty much the same thing.
It is. And we're by AJ, too, at the same time.
So they have, like you mentioned, they have a story mode in the game where you play a 1-year story. You can play as every character on the roster, or you can create your own wrestler. And if you create your own wrestler, this is how you raise their stats and, assign them skills and abilities through the Road to Elite. You play, like I said, you play a 1-year calendar. Each month is consisting of 4 shows. Or you can do extra matches where you can choose to wrestle on Dark or Rampage in the same week, giving you more matches and stuff. And in between matches, you can choose to go to a hospital if you have like an injury. You can choose to work out, interact with other wrestlers, do mini games with the Young Bucks, which the mini games are kind of lame. Again, it's something where like once you do it once or twice, it kind of loses its appeal.
I love how some of them relates with propane tanks. Like you throw a propane tank into the ring. I'm like, hold on, what's propane tanks got to do with wrestling?
Yeah, that's that Carney Lynch show bullshit.
I mean, how often is propane tanks in wrestling?
Never.
I mean, you don't need any propane in wrestling. I mean, even for the fireworks, I mean, they don't use propane. They use fireworks. Unless flames, but that's usually going to be at the stage area.
You know what? I want to see AEW do their version of an Inferno match. That's what I want to see.
AJ caught me talking some shit on him.
Uh-oh. So you have the Road to Elite, which is your story mode. You can create, like I said, you can do it as every wrestler or your created wrestler. You can also create your own arena, create your own stables. There is no creative pay-per-view, though. So you can't put your own show together and have the matches play out and get ratings like you can in the WWE games.
I feel at least AEW is going to have more than one game. TNA had TNA Impact,
And that was
and then, from the main consoles, but they had a couple like small ones, I think, for the portables, and then some crap mobile games. But they never did a main console game after TNA Impact floundered.
So supposedly, AEW put $40 million into the game to make the game and the advertising and everything. And Jim Cornette was questioning whether or not AEW was going to turn a profit on this game. Because he said if everybody bought the game, bought at least one copy, every person that watches AEW bought at least one copy of the game at $60, it was going to come out to somewhere around like $54 million.
Okay.
And how much profitability is that and whatnot, and is it worth it to them? Would it be worth it to them in the end and whatnot? But I think the game is alright. It's fun. There is an online mode. I've played the online. I haven't had much trouble with it, thankfully. Of course, me playing on the PS5. But yeah, I think the game is bare bones. It's something that you can just pick up and play for a little while. and that's okay. They were going for the feeling of No Mercy, and I think that for the most part, I think they nailed it.
But I mean, you gotta give them a little rope, some slack, because I mean, this is their first game. It's not gonna be, I mean, right off the bat a hit. I mean, it's like I said, you need to build that engine, and once you get that first engine built and all the gameplay and all the wrestlers, and then for next round, for next year's game, if they do it like WWE have a new game every year, then what they need to do is just keep copy and paste, but upgrade a little bit, like definitely refresh the roster a little bit. I mean, you got your engine now, and that's all you need to build from that. But I don't think we're gonna see a next year game. No. I would probably think they'll probably be 2 years from now, probably.
I'd say 2 to 3 years before we see another AEW wrestling game.
Yeah, I agree, and I think you gotta remember, I think one of the reasons why it was delayed so long is because they started this pretty much when the company almost started. I think it was a year into the company when they finally announced it, right?
Yeah, and then when they started working on it when COVID hit, so that didn't help either.
Yeah, and it wasn't just them was a delay on making that game. Everyone else, a lot of the games got on hold. Like, if you watch Nintendo, they still on the directs will say some of this stuff was impacted because the pandemic, and they still do that even to the current direct. And even though I guess we're into where COVID's entered the endemic.
I think they will. They definitely will add more stuff to this game. Obviously, but they can add stuff to this game while working on their next one too. So.
Well, that's the good thing about. I mean, out of modern days thing is that it's good about it is you're able to update the game. You can send patches or DLC later on, but what sucks at the same time is that if you don't get the DLC and patches when the server's still there, when you download the game, you're playing the most GIMP version of that game from now on. Once the servers are gone.
Well, that's the problem with digital, That's the problem. The AEW game did have a shop, which I thought was cool. You actually got to unlock things in the game instead of having to rely on DLC for all your unlockables.
Yeah, but I actually didn't mind. I don't mind paying $5 to unlock the rest of them, because I'd rather pay $5 and then go into storylines several times just to unlock the roster. I'll pay $5 to do that. Skip all that.
It takes the fun out of the game, though, in my opinion. I prefer to have the game, give you that time sink where to get the fullest out of it, you got to put work into it.
Yeah, but they have so much good stuff under lock and key. They'll have legends hidden, and then they'll have all types of wrestling belts, like the WCW belts, the ECW belts, all locked up. The old WWE titles, all locked up. So, I'd rather pay $5 to unlock everything. So, that's the good thing about modern day. But they put this content into the game, and then they go back and okay, let's start slicing some of this game up so we could sell more of this so we can make even more profit off of full game. Like, let's build a game and then let's take a piece of it and lock it behind either you grinding on the game or you pay some money to unlock it. So it's their version of microtransactions then, you know?
I mean, microtransactions are in the game because you could use your real money to buy the virtual currency so that you don't have to play so many matches to unlock everything in the game. Which I'm fine. You know, I don't understand why people hate microtransactions so much because it's not like you're forced to use them.
No, but they did the same. They had the same hate for DLC. DLC used to be a dirty word because, I mean, they would, like I was saying, they would build a game and then they would cut that piece out and put it behind a lock and key.
Yeah, now it's just expected.
Yeah, expected. But now, like you play Fortnite and to get a new skin that they were selling usually into the item shop. It takes like about $15 to get a new skin, give or take about that amount of money. I think you had to pay two $7 packs, I guess $14 to get a skin. And sometimes you'll have a few V-Bucks left over afterwards. So, and it's so expensive, and then they'll hide some really good skins on the Battle Pass. But you had to grind away on the Battle Pass, or you had to use your credit card to unlock the Battle Pass stuff.
Right, but people aren't forced to do it. If you want to do it, that's your choice. I don't understand why microtransactions are so hated. Besides the fact that yes, the companies and the developers are, you know, purposely holding back what you can earn in the game and make you play longer because they want you to spend your money, but you don't have to.
No, but it's a
shitty practice, that's for sure. But again, if it's not mandatory to get everything, then I don't see the problem. But I digress.
I mean, if they're adding something new that was not originally in there, that's one thing. Fine. Like Breath of the Wild, when that first came out, they added a couple stuff later on. They had some DLC, but I mean, they added some stuff like a hard mode later on, and then other stuff. And I'm guaranteed they're going to do the exact same thing with Tears in the Kingdom in probably in a few months. They'll have some DLC like they did. So
that being said, Casey, I think the AEW game is fun. It's definitely something worth picking up and playing. You know, you could pick it up and play it, you know, with people, play online, play couch, co-op, you know, play the story mode and get, you know, the most out of it. Try your hand at creating a wrestler, you know, see what you can come up with and whatnot. But overall, I think the game's pretty fun. I think it is a little bare bones, though, and it certainly is in need of some updates and some added features and stuff to the game. So with that being said, Casey, I think I'll give Fight Forever, AEW's Fight Forever, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
I'm not up there. I'm definitely not giving 8. Like, it's like you said, bare bones, but it's the pilot run. So it's going to be bare bones. It should be well known that it's not going to be perfect right out of the bat. So I think I would I think I agree. I think I'd give it 7 out of 10. If this was like, let's say this is like game number 5 for the same system, then this would have been like a 5 out of 10.
Right.
Or worse. So, to give it a little slack, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because it is a fun game. It's not a shit show of WWE 2K20.
So Kratos, again, I know you haven't, played the game, and I don't think you ever plan on it, but based on what you've seen of the game and whatnot, what do you think of it?
Well, from the gameplay I've seen across the platforms I've watched, looks fun. That's all I can say.
So obviously, I don't think you would buy the game, but if you ever came across it, like you knew somebody that had it, or you went, you were out somewhere and they had, the game there, and you're able to play it for a little bit, would you spend a few minutes on it and get mess around with it a little bit, or would you just like pass on it altogether?
I'd probably mess around with it. I probably would also want to know who in the hell came up with the idea of calling the F5 diverticulitis in this game.
I don't know either.
That's actually a thing in the game. There's a move called diverticulitis, which is basically the problem that Brock Lesnar himself has had back when he was in the UFC.
Yeah, that's funny because
in other games it's called the F5.
It's just as a shot at Brock Lesnar. That's what it is, a shot at Brock Lesnar. And they couldn't copyright the name because it's a illness or disease.
Diverticulitis is the disease.
So you can't.
TSS. What I'm saying is, like I said, it's a shitty practice. The fact that they withhold the amount of virtual currency you can earn at a time playing the game to unlock everything in the game versus spending your paycheck on virtual currency to just unlock the stuff easier. It's definitely a shitty practice, but if somebody chooses to spend that much time playing the game versus wanting to break out their wallet, that's their choice. And if somebody chooses to break out their wallet rather than actually playing the game and enjoying it, that's your choice. And that's why I'm saying I don't know why people hate microtransactions. It's an option if you want to use it, but you're not forced to. But people always bitch that microtransactions exist in video games.
Well, because it's a dirty word that came from mobile games. Because mobile games, like you pay like $10 for or less, like between like $1 or to 10, or even a free game, but to make money for free to play, you either you play to a certain time and then you have to wait, or you grind, and then or you pay up front and then you can continue playing.
No, see, mobile games has that stamina system bullshit where once you use all your stamina for the day, they want you to pay real money to keep playing their game. That's bullshit. But microtransactions to unlock content in a game, I don't mind it. It's there if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, great. Personally, I am one of those people that don't care for using microtransactions. But if it's there for those who like to use it, I don't see why people have to complain that they're always in a video game.
Well, I think it's kind of like on the sports where they'll sell something digitally that's like a trophy or something, or a special card, or like I think it's in Madden nowadays where basketball where there's literally a fucking slot machine in the game now. You know,
Mhm.
so
Not
it's
surprised.
it's like it's gambling right there now. It's legal gambling with kids who can actually do it now with their parents' credit card.
So we're nearing. We're
Still
nearing.
underage gambling.
Say that again,
Sad.
Kratos.
It's still underage gambling, which is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
pretty.
you know the gaming
Big things with
industry. The gaming industry will get.
adults only rating on it.
But the gaming industry will get away with it. And
Yeah.
they have been this whole time. So.
Yeah. And the only reason we even got light of it, of microtransactions, is because they tried to do the exact same to Star Wars Battlefront 2. Remember that launch?
Well, it was not only that; it was other games that were using loot boxes, or they'll still use a loot box, but they won't do anything related to that.
I only say that because
yeah.
that's the one that pissed off people the most and brought light to loot boxes and pay to win pay to win stuff in video games. That brought more light to it. Was trying to use real money to get certain heroes and in a Star Wars video game unlocked for multiplayer to use.
Yeah.
Like at one point, it was like 100,000 credits, in-game credits, to even buy Darth Vader to use in multiplayer during the beta.
Well, I know there's some games that they'll put so much microtransaction, they have so much stuff on their lock feed that costs thousands of dollars to unlock everything. So
one dude was in an esports team. His own parents beat his ass because he spent their entire life savings on loot boxes for the computer game he was playing in an esports league.
Yeah, esports is cancer in my opinion.
I would see that, and I was like, I'm not accepting this charges. Like, you better refund this because I am not keeping any of this. Refund.
They beat his ass. They beat his ass in the gaming area. He was playing with his buddies in.
Good. Yeah, you got what he deserved. But anyways, guys, we're nearing the 3-hour mark. So, does you guys have any final thoughts on the 4 topics on hand tonight?
Nah, I'm getting sleepy.
I got potential work in the morning, so yeah, I'm the same way.
All right. Well,
Do me a favor and put batteries in that fire alarm.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to check on that at some point tonight. Then,
it only beeped that one time that I heard. So,
well, true, but I think there's last time it was beeping too. So for at least 2 weeks, it's been beeping.
Go to bed, Casey says it, honey.
Issue.
Casey will go to bed after he gets his free plug, won't he, Casey?
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
All right, Casey. Let's start with Kratos.
Okay.
Well, follow me on Twitter at Kratos Matos if you find me there. If you find me there, I'm usually tweeting about like Destiny related content. Sometimes I post my own Destiny content in clips. More recently, I've been liking and retweeting Tom Warren of The Verge for all his contributions to like reporting about Microsoft winning against the FTC and Jim Ryan of PlayStation bending the knee to Microsoft. for Call of Duty.
Yeah, after he put up such a big stink about it.
For the past couple of days, some of them I retweeted. But other than that, that's all. That's where you can find me if you want to interact with me in DMs. I'm not anything like the psychos known as Collen Ballinger and Shane Dawson, though. So don't expect anything crazy from me.
Well, I would hope none of us are like that.
Chris,
I think
I'm not. I don't. If you're under 18, do not follow me because I do swear a lot on there, and I will not. I do not interact with minors unless you're family to me. Unless you're direct family, like cousins or actual family members, I will not interact with minors on any social media platform.
Yeah, he's not Casey. He doesn't. He doesn't have a stockpile of kids in the closet. At least he doesn't let them watch Colleen Ballinger, though.
Well, I mean, I told you I let my kidnap kids go. I felt bad for them, so I found the nearest forest and I let them out and say, "You're free to go now." I opened the door and told them to get out.
Oh, so you're not taking care. So you're not trying to take care of them anymore, Casey? What are they going to do for food?
Well, they're wild animals. They're supposed to be fine.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's a joke I want to make from Jeff Dunham, and it involves Walmart. You might as well have said, "Get your shit and get out."
Well,
welcome to Walmart. Get your shit and get out.
But for my plug, I just released today is one of the more rare games that I got in my collection. It's called Chippendale 2 for the NES.
Right.
I about to upload my review on episode 6 of Dark Side of the Ring, episode 4 on the Adrian Adonis. So that'll be out. I still got some gameplays to upload, and I got a big video game hunting episode that I need to work on. So I broke over 500 subs.
Holy shit, he did?
Yeah.
It's a miracle!
I think I'm at 507, so I beat Frank. Now I'm on my way to beat the road.
So you could try to catch up to me. You got a little ways to go.
Yeah, but I'm coming in the immortal words of Booker T, like I said earlier. The Rose, I'm coming for you.
Okay.
I'm glad I caught it that time.
What? What's wrong with Snickers?
Oh, Casey. Let's take a look at Casey's goddamn channel. Did he, in fact, break 500 subs? Because if he did, we're going to have to fix that problem right now.
But yes, I broke over 5. 2 weeks ago, it was like 480.
Yeah, you were at 480 2 weeks ago. You are, in fact, at 507.
So,
he gets partnered by YouTube before Rose and Frank because of the amount of hours he puts in.
Steve says that.
It goes by watch hours you get, too, so.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you guys. Oh my God! The AJ just dropped the N-word in the chat.
Oh,
it's with the South A version.
At least it's in the chat and it's not a spoken.
Can I spell it, though?
No!
No!
This is what Casey's been up to, by the way, guys, for this channel. He retired Wednesday night Nitro because he got too sweepy for that show.
Yeah, we were just getting burned out during Wednesday and Friday, so I think just having Fridays perfect. Plus, that doesn't mean we're not going to have a special day. Like, a lot of times we'll do a pay-per-view show, pay-per-view review show. So, I hadn't played a lot of Fortnite in a while. That's because I just have no desire. I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom as a lot. Like, I already broke over 100 hours on Tears of the Kingdom. So, it's addictive. It's like, I think I put 300 hours on Breath of the Wild, so... Oh, that's not... I broke over 1,100 hours on Fortnite just on the Switch. That's not including the gameplays on PS4.
I spent over a year worth of hours on just Destiny 2. I spent enough hours that would like equal to almost a year on Destiny 2 in time.
Wow. Because I've been playing Fortnite since 2017, so...
Sounds about right.
2018, give or take, right.
I've had breaks in between Destiny 2 and here and there, but that's about the same amount of time. That's about around the same time I started was 2017.
So all those years, it dialed up, and it's lately, obviously, it's been dialing down since I've been playing other games. But it seems like a lot of people have been liking my Atari 52 gameplays. So actually, just before we did this, I recorded 3 more gameplays from it. So.
And as you see here, this is my channel here. This is what I've been up to with my lives lately. I did 2 lives between now and Less and Serious. And only 2 uploads between now and 2 weeks ago. I'm particularly happy about this Yu-Gi-Oh video and how I pulled off like a 30-card combo and completely shut down my opponent to the point where he quit. I thought that was funny.
You know what?
In fact, here, I'm just gonna show you guys the combo. I'll just show you guys what I did. This is ridiculous.
I'll see this.
This whole combo is absolutely ridiculous. Let's lower this down a little bit. All right, here we go. So the whole video is 5.5 minutes long. The combo that I pulled off on my opening turn is the majority of the video. All right, here we go. Of course, I'm playing the plant deck, by the way. So let's count how many cards I used. All right. There's 2. Shut down the Maxi. That would have been a problem. So I played 3 cards.
Your gameplay is a little off kilter.
Oh, is it? Yeah. All right. Let me start. Yeah, let me start that over. Oh, yeah. I see it. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, let's start it over. All right. So again, I started off the spell card. I pulled the Lokai to the hand. Lokai is what starts out off the entire combo. The opponent tried to play Max C, which means every time I would have summoned a monster, they would have drew a card, so I shut that shit down real fast. And then I just go off right into the combo. So here we go. That's 4 cards. 4 cards played. Here comes number 5 with the card I just added. There's 6 with the Sunseed Twin. The Twin's going to bring the card back that I first used to start the combo. It's going to summon another one. There's my 7th card of the turn. Technically 8. Here comes number 9. Whoops. I literally pulled off like a 30-card combo. Here's number 10. Comes 11. I'm going to gain more life points. And when I gain life points, when Jasmine's on the field, it lets me add a card to my add a card to my hand for my deck. And I'll play it. So that's number 12. Now I'm going to add my 13th card from the deck to my hand, and I'm going to play that. I'm going to get my 14th card into my hand. I'm going to send that away. There's my 15th card. My 15th card is going to send another card away for my 16th card. Then I'm going to summon the 14th card. I'm going to pull that out. We're going to add another card to the hand, and we're going to send off the pedal for the Mudan. The Mudan's going to add another card to my hand. That's about my, 18th card now. The Rika Con adds another card to the field. I'm going to link summon again another Jasmine. So that's 20 cards now. We're going to banish that. We're going to send Jasmine away to bring back the healer. The healer is going to gain me more life points, which allows me to add another card to my hand. We're going to play the Glamour. The Glamour is going to send off the healer to add 2 more cards to my hand. So there's cards number 22 and 23. Now I'm going to summon those to the field. Then we're going to exceed summon a rank 4. That's my 24th card of the turn. And we're going to link off those. My rank 3. I'm going to add a card from the graveyard back to go into a link 4 play. So he's going to go with Bestial Magnum Hunt. And I'm going to shut that card down so he can't summon it. Now I'm going to go into my link 4 play, which is my probably second best monster in the deck. So that's now my 26th card. I'm going to send that off to add a card back to my hand. Then I'm going to tribute the Strenna to summon my 2 level 8s. And summon another Exceed monster for tributing an Exceed monster. Now I'm going to rank 8 into another Exceed monster, making my 29th card of the turn, and that's where I end my turn. One massive combo, and we're 3.5 minutes into the video. My opponent's going to get a 2-minute turn. I'm going to shut down his Magnum Hut again. He tries to summon it, I'm going to stop it a second time. Because I just don't want to deal with it. Fuck him. Now it's destroyed. Now he can't play with it. So now he's going to get another card out. He does get that one out. He get a card to the graveyard, which you can also get to the field. He's going to break my board a little bit, which is unfortunate. But he's not going to be able to do enough to me. He can't get through my... I have 6 disruptions on the field here.
Bros, you gotta check out the chat.
Bounce that back. He adds a card to his hand. He summons. He summons again. He's gonna break. He's gonna use that spell card. He's gonna break my board down with his link 3, or his rank rather, his rank 5. And I'm going to get rid of that card because fucking I'm not dealing with it. And now he's going to use his effect. And there goes my card. I had to tribute it so I could take his monster with the Rika sheet. Of course, he negates my effect, but that's fine. He sends my card to the graveyard. He sends... He breaks down my board there. He still leaves me with enough stuff on the field to the point where he knows he can't win, and he's just going to give up.
Is this actual someone playing on this other side, or is that like computer?
No, that's somebody I played against. So I shut down his last card, and now he quits. He's going to quit at the end of the turn. There he goes. I shut down everything he was pretty much able to do. He got one move off where he broke down my board, but he couldn't get me down enough, and I shut down every possible play he was able to make between my turn and his turn. And I was quite proud of that. Made me happy. When I can pull shit off like that in a card game, it's a good time. This is like watching paint dry. That's not cheating. That's just being skillful.
Mm-hmm.
Watching that, it was kind of like watching someone doing brain surgery. I have no idea what was going on at all.
The chat is entertaining, Anandi says. AJ goes, remember to watch Friday is Raw every night at 11 p.m. Eastern. There's your second free plug.
I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, I know you won't, because you'll take all the clout you can get.
Yes.
But with that being said, guys, we have just brushed past the 3-hour mark. I think we did fine tonight. Next show should be on July 30th, which is at the end of the month, and the night. So we'll see if there's anything more on the Collen Ballinger front. Hopefully not. We'll see.
I'm gonna say probably will be.
There might. I mean, if there is, who knows? It might not be worth covering. So we'll see. Yeah, depending on the topics, what goes out there, maybe find something fun and ridiculous to look at, like that $700 hamburger or the cheese race.
Oh God.
Casey needs a brain operation. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, if you enjoy those card games, I mean, that's cool, but is that like actual cards you have in real life, or...
I can get those cards, yes, but I don't have them.
I just don't get between, like, I know my wife was into, and her brother was into Magic, and I know Magic cards are actually worth some money.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Put it this way, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very expensive card game. In fact, the deck that I just played in that video is probably about a $400 deck. It's pretty expensive. If I wanted to build that for real, it would take me a while.
Real life or $400 on digital?
$400 in real life.
Okay.
It's quite expensive. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably one of the more expensive games to get into. Magic is definitely the most expensive. Pokemon is rather casual. It's a lot more easier to get into. But yeah.
If it was, I put one card down. Is that all right? Your move is done, and then this guy on the other side would take 10 minutes putting down all the rest of his. It's like, I guess I just lost.
Yeah, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! For you, man. You play a game like that. I mean, I've certainly been on the receiving end of that shit, so it's very frustrating, but when you get to pull it off on someone else, it's very satisfying. This is why I love working on muscle cars and not nerd shit.
Well, there's nothing wrong with this. I'm like, honestly, video games is kind of nerd-ish, and same thing kind of with wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's a nerd about something, Even being a car enthusiast, you could still, you could be seen as a nerd for being a car enthusiast because you know a lot about cars. And it's a good thing to know a lot about cars because you know how to fix them when they break down.
Hold on. TSS just said that. Did you guys hear they're getting rid of Xbox Live Gold?
I don't think I've heard of that. I know they were raising the price of Game Pass Ultimate.
Well, I mean, where are they going to come out with Xbox Live Platinum?
Well, I think what they're doing is they're just incorporating everything into Game Pass Ultimate. Whereas, because they pretty much already did that now. So basically, instead of just, letting you buy separately, they just want you to buy everything together. I guess.
Well, this is another reason why I think Microsoft is getting out of the console business, and this is going to be their version of was it Steam? So I think they'll put Xbox Live or Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation and Nintendo in the future. That's what I'm predicting, and this is another step.
Well, they already have a working relationship with Nintendo, so it's only a matter of time before Game Pass shows up on the Switch. I don't think it'll show up on this Switch, but I think it'll definitely be on the next one.
No, yeah, I'm just saying, like, gosh, I told people in my when they released the N64 games on Switch online, and one game I told them there was no way in hell was going to happen was GoldenEye, and the reason was there was so much license they had to pay for.
I said the same thing about Banjo-Kazooie. I said that's not going to happen in Smash, and look what happened in Smash.
Well, they had a working relationship with Rare and with Microsoft, but the problem is, wasn't Rare and Microsoft for GoldenEye. The problem was with MGM, because they own the rights to James Bond and GoldenEye license. And not only that, you had all the actors who were in that game, so you had to get the license for that movie. So, like, there was so much hoops they had to go through. It was like, nah, there's no way in hell this game's coming back out. That's like getting a WWF game out nowadays when WWE barely use the WWF logo anymore. Still.
Well, they only use it, if they really need to.
Yeah.
But I think we should get out of here now. I know Kratos has work in the morning, and you're getting sweepy right there, Casey. So I want to say thanks to everybody in the chat. Of course, Casey's Raw had to be number one in the chat because he's got a double dip every freaking week. Every 2 weeks, rather. Every show. I'm going to say what's up to TSS, Anani, Steve Callen. We had Flame Legend in the chat. Kratos made an appearance in the chat. AJ Raider, or AJ Bulldog, or just AJ, whatever he's going by this week. Hey, at least he's not a Jew who got drafted by the whites. And I think that was everybody. Yeah. So, with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Check out Derailed Gaming. Derailed Gaming playing Final Fantasy 16, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, among other things. Drew just did some actual recordings for upcoming game releases that he's not going to be streaming, so look out for that. Also, $1 a month on the Derailed Patreon will get you nearly 300 episodes of podcasting material, and it'll get you all the other Patreon archived content as well. That is still there. I want to say follow me on Twitch, of course. Subscribe right here to the YouTube channel if you're not already. I'd greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, especially for social media. I might make a Threads too, because it seems like everyone's doing that these days. I don't know. Twitter is there, so you know when to go live and upload a video. And yeah, hit the like button on this stream if you like Less Than Serious, and you like lighthearted or news content we can make fun of, or people we can make fun of, like these sick pieces of shit we talked about tonight. Yeah, because if your private parts smell like tuna, you got a problem. Anyways,
Or you're having kids reaching into your pants to pull out cheese balls.
yeah, exactly. That being said, guys, for MK Kratos, for Casey's Raw. My name is Rose, saying thank you for coming by. Thanks for watching the stream and the show. Again, episode 72, if all goes well, will be on July 30th. And until next time, guys, have a good night. Thanks for watching. My name is The Rose, and we'll catch your ass down the road.